You're in Elizabethtown, you grow veggies, flowers. Can you talk a bit about how you got into that?
The growing vegetable bits come from maybe my parents, my father especially. He decided to change his lifestyle to more down to earth, and maybe for environment reason, health reason. He's getting towards 50, so he wanted to quit his good pay job, go to countryside, have a broken land to grow vegetables. Maybe not so much chasing a money type thoughts and vision. So both my parents moved to the countryside, and I was already leaving home time, like 18, 19. So just watching them doing shift so many years ago, like over 30 years ago, or longer than that, maybe 40 years ago, no one else did things. And it's just maybe a bit of an impact on me, seeing them growing vegetable, happy life in the countryside, and then the fresh vegetables, it tastes so much better. And just slowly taking over my, I don't know, just the palate. Or my father's always very foodie and always spent a lot of time fishing or shopping together, cooking together. Anyway, and then I got married, come to Australia. Trevor knew my parents doing this, and I was really enjoying being in the countryside and eating good fresh food. And so he thought, good to have a little plot of land, but it was a sand dune, so it was really hard to grow vegetables and stuff. But I always growing a bit of a vegetable to go onto my food. And then I just realized how to grow continuous vegetable for the family in the sand dune, hot weather coming, climate change coming, and then looking for the bigger land. In South Australia was too expensive and tricky anyway. And ended up in Tasmania, now in Elizabethtown, beautiful soil, lots of water. So that's just perfect spot for the north facing and flat land. My parents would be love to have this. Even finding a perfect land with water is always a tricky one. But anyway, so we got this one, and then start growing vegetables. Fence is very important because of wildlife. And I just get hung of it, and I'm more like the one, a very industrial person. A little bit is never satisfy me. I always want to have a lot. So just just when I make something, you look at little things, I want to make lots of them. I don't know why, I just become just very industrial person. And anyway, it's always excess, giving away, but I got really hooked on growing flowers since the COVID. That was my little COVID project. I got this book from the library, Flower Farmer book. And then I just write everything down and start ordering seeds. And then once you have seeds, even the vegetables just grow so much, because propagation is my little bit of passion and obsession. I've been doing it even in South Australia, growing trees for life, native things. And so the seedling, growing plants is my passion. So once I start growing flowers, many different kind, and I just get so much. But I also spend a lot of money buying seeds and seedlings or whatever. And I was, it would be nice to have a bit of an income from this, so I can actually evenly manage the budget or something. So then I start selling vegetables and flowers to the local cafe, like Francalotti and florist. And just took off, because once I do, I want to do more, and it's just not stopping, just expanding, and I keep myself busy. But because I put so much care and organic, and also learn to do, what's it called? Continuous planting. Always keep putting seeds. Yeah, I can't remember. Anyway, so I have continuous supply now. I learned how to do those things instead of just one-off tomato lots or something. So just continuously towards the end of the season. And so I learned a lot of things, but also I want to share those supplies and happiness and knowledge and as well. But people ask questions and I just shared, and I even had a flower workshop things, the flower roti for a year, maybe a few years ago now, explaining how to set up your flower farm, flower garden, your backyard or things like that. And yeah, quite people interested to start with, but anyway, and so then quite busy supplying vegetables and flowers, as well as keep planting and managing, building, and not managing building, but changing to this, moving to the Elizabethtown instead. Oh, and actually it was busy because of two property, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Back and forth and all that stuff. And then also, Trevor always tell me I'm quite good at sharing stuff, so I just came up with the idea of the cooking class I started last winter. I did June, July, August. Japanese cooking using all my fresh vegetables and seasonal and healthy, and so it was really a big hit. And setting a house, moving a house, and I was just too much. But people ask me what's happening Japanese cooking, and okay, I just make it a bit more simpler to me to back on again. So I just did it first one this year. Was it yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah. So 8-9 people came yesterday.
Do they come here?
No, they come here and do the cooking and then explaining all the other stuff too. And
she's Tomoko's very warm and people really like her.
Quite entertaining.
So she's got the right sort of person to teach.
And a lot of people knows me cooking for yoga retreat, Christine's yoga retreat in Western Creek. I do a bit of catering too, and people loves this. And also last year I did fundraising for the asylum seeker resource center to raise money. So people come eat my food, put the money in a tin, and I raised $1,000. And yeah, so I just got confident cooking for other people and sharing those passion. So I was just starting this again once a month instead of once every 2 weeks. Cooking class, winter menu is the same menu for 3 months, and I do the spring and autumn, summer, whatever. So I just wanted to even share this lifestyle here, simple cooking, less intervention, as long as you have fresh. So encouraging people to grow vegetables as well, and learn how to use this and eat healthy and live happily ever after. Yeah, so that's my vision. But as well as I'm not the person who compromises good food. So I'm always looking for good food, and so that's why I end up just cooking home, because it's so freshness the freshness beats everything else. So yeah.
You should say about your father though. Her father left work.
48.
This is in Japan, this is unheard of. Left a good job to become a farmer, which is not that easy in Japan.
So it was very tricky for him to.
But he became an organic farmer and he wrote books about
Yeah. Well, he passed away a while ago. Yeah, it's just because unusual. People, media people came in a newspaper and the TV, whatever, so he got quite famous. So people ring up, I want to have your vegetables, look at the box one, so he boxed them. I used to help in the morning, get up. He takes about 10 different type of vegetables and wash them, pack them, wrap the newspaper and send it to whatever. So it was a lot of work, but the business side was always beyond the kitchen table. So he has a good vegetable, because of excess he sold. So that was the essence. So first one is I want to eat healthy food, safe food, and then sharing to others. So he was doing a lot of so my parents was doing a lot of things, and then also because he started writing things, and then people in the city wanted to hear his story. So when I was living there for 4 years, after I lived in Tokyo for 6 years, lived with my parents 4 years in the countryside. Quite a lot of people came and stay and then asked my parents, how did you do that? Especially financially. And also finding a land in the countryside, it's quite tricky because everybody, or the family generation, the family land, don't want to lend to outsiders, family or friends. So finding those land issues and managing the income and last, and then also learn what's the vegetable growing like. City people don't really know. And so I've seen a lot of people, especially people who, retiring people or people who went to the NGO volunteer stuff in overseas, they realize the life is not about chasing money. So come back to Japan and then find my parents and then come visit. And a lot of those NGO young people came to stay and then still contact with my mother. And yeah, so quite inspiring to see this is a kind of the product, but it's maybe become I knew this was going to be a trend. That was like, I'm talking about 30 years ago. I was 20 something then.
But that was part of your drive for wanting this land, wasn't it?
But I'm not sure how consciously I was thinking that either. But I'm kind of living the moment. I just like this. I put more in, I put more effort in, and it's just not stopping. That's my father is. Not really think about, worry about the future or what happened to the past. I just enjoy what you do now, so I'll just keep going. And it just, so my father actually hurt his back and then couldn't walk for a month or whatever, and then realized packing vegetable for 100 boxes or whatever, it's just too hard. So decided to grow more of the grain, the wheat and rice and soybeans, and a bit of vegetable for themselves. And then making a product like biscuits. So he invented the recipe, not really just a basic recipe, to make a biscuit using homegrown organic grains put together, and then put the name on, and I saw that was an extra income. But I think they are getting a bit of pension by then. Then also the book, but book wasn't really a big income or anything. So just if you have a land, no mortgage, bit of income from biscuit or vegetables and or book, whatever, you can live happily ever after. So that was his motto, small person, happy life or something like that. I can't remember, he used to say that things. Yeah, he's no longer here, but it's nice to give the tip, the growing tip and stuff, because I knew a lot of organic farmers, Tim and Graham, whoever, Christina. We always swap the ideas, how do you do, but it's all growing vegetables and flowers. They're all where you microclimate, very local conditions. And my father often said to me, because every time so different. Every farmer has got their own tip, but doesn't mean apply to the others, and it doesn't mean your own tip doesn't apply to the next year either. There's always learning, and he's such a curious person, the same as me, and I always want to learn. I was just observing and he just never get bored. Yeah, so I'm just stuck to this. Yeah, no.
So once a month you do cooking workshop, cooking classes.
Well, this year, yeah.
How do people find out about them?
In the beginning, I made up, that was last year, I made this template, and then I asked my friend to put into one page, because I was using Google Docs and science reporting 3-page, and she put it onto the Facebook, the Orion Saran Facebook page. That was last year, and then that's how people got to know. And then maybe I told my friends, and a couple of people has got a long email list for the friends and yoga and the people. So send it out, and then big response within a few days. Fill it up, and some people put for 3 classes, 3 different things, and so people already know. And this time around, I didn't put it on Facebook or anything. I just sent it to all my friends who might be interested in, or friends, or so I just sent it to my for the phone contact list, maybe it's 40 people or 50 people, and yeah, within 24 hours, you gotta be in, because people know that's hard to get in, because it only takes 8 people, and unless people really please ask, so I put 9, the maximum, max, because I only got 9 plates, good plates. So that's how they book in, and I didn't put any social media this time, but I don't know, in spring when I put the new flyer, I might do something different. I'm not sure. Yeah, so few people already know, but not in the big public space, because only fit some. Then some people just always want to come. Once I know, they want to know straight away. Even somebody said last year, don't put on the Facebook. Tell me first, that kind of people there. So,
well,
yeah.
You do the garden tour as part of it too.
Yeah, I take them to the garden. Like last year, I have a welcome things and we chat who you are, and then go to the garden, pick a few things. But yeah, if people want to learn about the garden, I'm sharing and walk around. But now I take it to the 3 hours instead of 4 hours. So a bit more like instead of cooking together, I just show how to do those things. But it's just casual, so anyone can wander around, and I take them around, and everything just very casual. That's the good things about it. And then the price is very affordable, $65, and you get really good lunch together. Yeah, and I give handouts, and you want to come?
Sounds pretty good. Yeah. So what would you say some of your favourite vegetables and things to grow outside, and flowers, if you don't mind sharing?
I like the Asian vegetable, the Japanese white turnip, daikon.
Is this daikon radish?
Daikon radish is a long one.
Yep.
Yeah, daikon radish as well as the turnip.
Okay.
And the root vegetables I like. And these things you don't get in the supermarket.
Yep.
I like to grow myself. And then herbs, especially in summer, there's Japanese herbs called shiso. I like them, have them. The flowers, very hard to pick anything. But I like the ranunculus, Iceland poppies. This is maybe first cheerful things come up in the early spring, because in the winter you don't have much flower and they go bare, and the people yearning to have this color. So that's why florists and everywhere sells tulip just straight away, because people just want to have a color in your house. And so I do flower arranging things, and I made a lot of little pottery vases, and then do the flower
pottery too.
Yeah, flower arranging, the table arrangement for the Frankalmati, and library Liz cut. She's a neighbor, so she cut my hair. I just take in the season I take every week new flowers, and yeah.
It's very sharing, not an economy, but a sharing community.
Yeah, it's also my creativity. I can just grow stuff and cut and sell, but I'm always want to be more creative. I'm going to make things, and when kids are doing homeschool, I always love this. It's homeschool is all my stuff. I can do draw things and sewing stuff and making things with kids, but now kids gone. So I just, flower is a good one because it doesn't accumulate in the cupboard, die in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, so I just start again. A bit like a cooking. So in spontaneous creativity, and it doesn't end up in the cupboard. So I made a lot of vases and do the flower, and then I go to Frankalmati every week, maybe not in the winter, to change the other arrangement. Like I take a dozen of small arrangement or some a big one, change it over, and some customers like to see the flowers when you have a coffee, and then also good for me using all my things to just circular and not end up in like a bin or dump or the house, so just everybody to share. Yeah, so that's how to make myself busy. Sometimes I wonder why I'm doing this. Too busy, but yes, it's good for me.
To be busy, to do things.
To create something.
To do something.
Even cooking, same. Open, look at the fridge and then look at the garden. What can I do with these things? But sometimes no plan, I just see how it goes. The flower is a bit like that. As long as you know some tip, like I don't mix with pink flower and yellow flower, or I only use this vase for that kind of color coordination. Or, it's like artist in a way. I'm not trying artist or anything, but I know them now. I know. It's a kind of good things if you know a bit about it. Same as growing vegetables. Yeah.
Does it get too cold here for some? Is that some of the difficulty? Obviously, Adelaide was hot and dry. Are there challenges growing in?
Yeah. The frost. It's now even walking over there is just still frozen, but also you learn how to deal with it. So when I towards the summer, end of summer, autumn, I plant things further this way, higher up, and because the trees over there is quite high, so the sun doesn't get to the half of the block. So just know how to deal with it. This is like permaculture approach. So don't look at the problem, look at the solution. So I learned those things. As long as you can observe stuff.
Yeah, she uses basically the no dig method because we have the chickens we shift around, so they dig the soil up for her and fertilise it. So we've got a chicken dome that she moves around to
scratch up the soil and go through
She
the...
doesn't do any heavy digging for a lot of the vegetables. The flowers you do because the chickens
not
a bit
much.
destructive there. But
So disturbing soil is also invasion of weed as well. But I want to have eggs and I love chickens. So move every 2 weeks, every 2 to 3 weeks. And then I clean them and then put the seeds in or seedlings in, depends on the season. And then chicken go to new spot. So that area has already been scratched and pest controlled and fertilized. And because chickens are really lightweight, so not compacting and anything grows. Yeah, so then 6 months later, chicken back again and do it again. And so it's very, I think this idea from permaculture book got first time many years ago. So it works. And so this having a good soil, it's like having a good immune system, and it doesn't get sick, it just grows and healthy. And then if you have a good soil, you can grow good vegetable. So even a cold day, just stay alive.
A bit more resilience in
totally.
in the plants.
You don't use any pesticides or anything. So.
No. Because of the flowers here and lots of natives. I love the natives so much. So just bring so many ecosystems in, they work together.
I guess in the end, what's happening is a combination of both of us, because I'm more sort of infrastructure driven. So we've reached the pinnacle of, we've gone all electric. So all of our cooking now is carbon free, basically. We've reached that point which we were aiming for many years ago.
How does it feel to get to where you were hoping to get to?
Yeah, and it's taken many years of technology to appear for us to get the right amount of money to do it, the will and dedication on behalf of both of us, really, because Tomoko works hard and I work hard to try and supplement that with the type of dwelling and the amount of energy that we use and all those type of things pulled together. And then in the end, one of the key things this year was moving closer to where all our amenities were. So cutting down that travelling and allowing Tomoko to be able to do what she wants to do, share those produce with people in the local town and making those connections. Whereas when you live too far away, it's really hard to do that, wasn't it?
So as we're getting older, many things are getting harder too, and even driving. So everything just getting easier to do things as I get older, because my knees and all this stuff, and then now we've got building son's little tiny house. So it's now it's a lot easier now. Everything electric. You don't have to worry about the fossil fuel, and then all the power tools are electric. So I can start a brush cutter and lawnmower without putting my shoulder out, so it's easier for us for many reasons. Some more time for sharing or holiday if we get to go, And then now a bit more time to be able to help him. And it's come a long way, but it's good time because we're not overly too old. Yeah, so it's a good life.
Yeah, it's been a long journey, and it's a combination of a lot of things. When you think about it, like it's Tomoko, as she says, is very creative. Like we went to a pottery class with our friends. Tonight we were all trying to make one cup, and she'd finished a whole dinner service.
No, I did the pottery. I did the pottery before Charles was born, first one born, and I just I can focus stuff. The mindful, so I just do pottery of just so many things I need to focus. I can focus, therefore I can achieve stuff. People get so distracted with many things, but I'm lucky person. I can focus stuff. But tennis is a hard one. So yeah, I do music, and so just it's good mindful exercise I have every now and then. But even life, we have now driving a lot less. I can do all this my fun stuff quite easily now. The kids are grown up, and
Good spot.
Luckily, Tomoko is a person that fancy new things are not important to her. It's more about the process of what she does, and so she's prepared to wait for fancy new things, and they're not so important to her. But all those other things are. Those sharing things are what's important to her.
that's what I learned when I wanted to know how to grow this basil or whatever, tomato, Samozano, because I just come up from Europe. When I was young, at the 24 or something, I went to Europe and then see all these things and come back, start living with my parents, and then my parents are growing vegetables. Oh, I want to have these vegetables, it'll be interesting. And then my father said, oh, you can have this plot of land, learn yourself. And then so I just start to, before making pesto, find the seeds, put it in. So I learned to wait and watch and use. So that patience I learned from there almost. And then when you make things, I always want to make things since I'm little, making things for my friend's birthday. It just takes so long, and I'm so used to this. To make things takes so much effort, but you learn from the process. But people just go and buy one. This is not my thing. Yeah, so just happy to do things.